Hello, everyone out there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. My name is David, and this is the Star Wars Stuff Podcast, and I'm joined by
James. Here we are, man. We are
the Night of Nights.
the night of nights. We're about 2 hours out, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, 2 hours and like 15 minutes out. And I don't know, it's getting kind of crazy. Like the whole day today, I was just like looking at the clock, like, all right, here we go, man. It's almost time, it's almost time. And I think I'm more excited for this finale than I was for the Mandalorian season 2 finale. I mean, this is like I don't know. Do you feel the same way? Or are you kind of like, eh?
Yeah, it feels kind of weird because for the Mandalorian season 2, I don't think we knew exactly what to expect
Yeah,
other than Grogu contacted a force sensitive being.
yeah.
And everyone had all these predictions. It's going to be Mace Windu. It's going to be Cal Kestis.
It's gonna
I
be
was like, I
Ezra.
hope it's Luke. I hope it's Luke, and everyone's like, nah, that'd be too perfect. So, I mean, yeah, we got Luke, and then we got Luke last episode in chapter 6, and it was such a huge improvement from what we got
Oh
in
yeah,
the finale of the Mando
yeah.
season
Hands
2.
hands down, like night and day. Great. Thank you very much. Side note: I was actually thinking about shaving it, but I think you just like saved me. Now I'm not going to shave it anymore. If you say it looks good, then I'm going to keep it. But yeah. So going, yeah. Luke looks amazing. It was awesome. But I am more hyped for this one because going into it, we now have a really good idea of what is going to happen in this final episode. All the pieces are in place right now, as opposed to Mandalorian. We were kind of like, he's got to go get Grogu, of course, but it was cool. I'm so excited for this last episode, and rumor has it it's just a regular timed episode. We're getting what, like a 52 minute long show,
Yeah, that's the rumor.
which is very sad because we were
But
all
if you look
hoping
at the
for.
last episode, look at all the characters they like jam packed in there, and it was like probably one of the most memorable Star Wars anythings ever.
Yes, very true. A lot of people consider that the best that they've done since Mandalorian, and some people say that episode is better than the seasons of Mandalorian. So, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I will say that Robert Rodriguez did direct The Streets of Tatooine, and not many people were crazy about that episode. That one had the biker chase, and a lot of people were not thrilled about that. I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't have any problem with it, but a lot of the interwebs and TikTok were making fun of that. So maybe he'll redeem himself and everyone will be happy again. I don't know, but I just want to see what he brings to the table with this last episode.
Yeah, the Mos Espa Vespas was kind of odd when you look back on it. When I first saw that episode, I didn't think it was all that bad, but I
Yeah,
mean, I have my kind of expectations in check in a way because I know this is a TV show,
yeah.
and I figured that maybe we'd get something grand, and we did get something grand in chapter 6 with Luke's face is that deep fake and all the characters they brought in, and it
Cad
feels
Bane.
like they backloaded the season with
It feels like you started off with your origin story of Boba Fett,
mhm.
and then when you got to chapter 3 and 4, it was like, okay, now we're gonna start to bring in more of the plot of what's happening. But once we got to 5, it was like, okay, now we have to see how other parts are gonna start to play into this final battle, which you go with Din Djarin. And I've said it before on the podcast, which is if they hadn't have shown Din and he just shows up, people would have been upset. People would have been like, "Well, how come we didn't see what he did?" No matter what, people were gonna complain about it. So they showed him. It's there. It's all flowing together pretty well, and I don't know. There's a lot of predictions of what's gonna happen in this last episode. And you said there's a rumor going around that a lot of the budget for the show is in this last episode. Where did you hear that from?
I heard that we are gonna be given I don't want to get people's expectations up too
It's
high,
it's
but
it's it's, it's impossible not to do that. So
yeah, I mean at this point it's like after chapter 6,
yeah, it's
it's like you're gonna have to top that.
Yeah.
And the question is, how are they gonna top Luke, Grogu, R2,
Uh,
Ahsoka, Cad Bane's live action introduction? I mean, what are they gonna do?
I think Joseph has it right there. As long as Chrysanthemum rips arms, I'm happy. But okay, so what were we gonna say, David?
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to get. I'm thinking original trilogy cast members like Han, Leia, possibly Ben Solo. What if they deep faked a kid with like 12-year-old Adam Driver face?
There was a picture going around online of they said leaked picture of Ben Solo, but it wasn't real. But it is kind of funny that this rumor of him is picking up that we will get a Ben Solo, a young Ben Solo, and which I think that'll be great. I think that'll kind of, and I mean we don't think that, but a lot of the internet who thinks that Favreau and Filoni are retconning the sequel trilogy, it'll be like they're totally not doing that at all. They are leading directly to it. So showing Ben Solo would be kind of like, oh, okay, look, there he is. There's the plot line.
And I think a lot of people are forgetting that it's been in articles that they're connecting to the
Yes.
sequel trilogy, whether people liked it or not, like it or not. I mean, it's happening, and I think we saw a piece of that with the Jedi Temple, and I think that's the exact same temple we do see
Yeah,
getting
it's
burned down in the Last Jedi.
yes.
And I also heard another thing
Uh-oh.
that there is going to be another, this is just a rumor, but there's going to be another sequel trilogy connection in this last episode, but
It,
nobody knows exactly what it is, and it wasn't the temple in chapter 6.
it has to be Snoke. They have to somehow bring in Snoke. Worthy is my name. Hello, how are you? We are just getting hyped for this last episode that airs tonight. And we're just trying to figure out like what's the big reveal gonna be, like what's the big thing gonna be. Um, I could see let's go. Yeah, I could see that's a great way to spell it though. I think that's the way I'm gonna spell it from now on. Uh, I think we're gonna get Snoke's it's not introduction, but something's gonna happen because if you remember, may have seen Snoke in season 2 of Mandalorian there, and I think that plot line is still gonna start to come through in this season. And I think the big thing is Thrawn. I think we're gonna get Thrawn in this episode. Either see him or there's gonna be a mention of him. And I think once that name is mentioned and they don't show him, the general public is gonna be like, okay, who is this guy? Who is Thrawn? Why is he such a big deal? And then it's gonna all start to blow up that yeah, he's probably gonna be the ultimate villain. So we see Grogu, or is that choice going to? I am I am hoping we see Grogu, but the writer in me is thinking that's going to be safe for season 3. I think we're going to see that choice in season 3, and I don't think we're going to see Grogu at all in this last episode. But then again, I've been wrong every single time this entire show, so I wouldn't be surprised if scene 1 of this chapter is Grogu. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think, David? Are you
I
thinking we're
say
gonna
we're
see
seeing
him?
Grogu with Master Luke Skywalker in the X-wing flying and to save the day, along with the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Millennium Falcon might show up. That's my big prediction. Do you think Cad has some type of Beskar piercing armor bullets? We don't talk about Star Wars theory. I'm just kidding. No. Star Wars theory and us
I
are
did
not.
hear about that.
I'm just kidding.
That is possible. And it is possible that we do actually see the live action rendition of that Clone Wars animatic where Boba Fett, young Boba Fett, and Cad Bane do the face off and they shoot each other. We
Yeah.
might see that flashback. That's
I hope
possible.
we see that flashback. And I was just messing there. I was totally joking around. The only reason I say is because on the rankings on Apple Podcast, Star Wars Theory and our podcast go back and forth. So it's just a funny joke. But the flashback would be pretty cool. And also the flashback would be great if they brought in Daniel Logan to play him. Like if you're gonna bring Daniel Logan in as a young Boba Fett flashback, this is the episode to do that. This is where you show him take the helmet off, and if it's him, that'd be freaking awesome. Um, yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I agree 100%. But it's just like, man, what could they do? So let's. I'm just gonna say Daniel Logan as Boba Fett flashback with Cad Bane would be awesome to see. The Millennium Falcon flying in to save the day would also be really cool to see. Uh, a young Ben Solo would be great, and then Thrawn's name being sprinkled in there somehow. If he's in charge of the Pike Syndicate. And of course, the other rumor is Kira showing back up. Like, is Kira, age her what? How many years? Like 15 years probably.
Yeah, age her up a
And
bit.
oh, well, thank you. Yes, the Star Wars Stuff podcast. Check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, we've David and I have been going since 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Actually, March. Yeah, March will be our anniversary of the podcast. So that's pretty exciting. Uh, but yeah, I think Kira showing up, Emilia Clarke being in there would be pretty cool. And she loved it. In interviews she's had, she said like she's always game to come back and always wants to come back. And it seems like the majority of Star Wars actors want to come back, except for Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley. Like,
No, I think they do want to come back. There's been rumblings that Disney wants to do something Kylo Ren centric. If it's a young Kylo series where we get to see the origins of Snoke recruiting him, or
yeah.
just, I mean, him just being the leader of the Knights of Ren. I mean, they want to desperately do something, and I don't think Adam Driver is opposed to coming back and doing more Star Wars stuff.
I oh yeah. Yeah, Thrawn, yeah, I think we're gonna get Thrawn in here, and then fake boy or fake. There's probably I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but yes, we did see that the tweet was deleted that said that Kenobi was coming in May, and we are hoping that in Super Bowl Sunday we're gonna get a little snippet of a shot of Kenobi, because Disney Plus is gonna do a reel of like what's coming in 2022, and the rumor is we're gonna get a little quick shot of Kenobi in that sizzle reel, which is gonna break the internet. Like if they show Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's just gonna be huge. And I'm gonna just keep watching that over and over. That's just that little segment over and over again. Um, Okay, and so now it is kind of confirmed that there will be a post-credit scene. There's going to be a post-credit sequence at the end of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, there might
Ooh,
even be two things at the end. Something that kind of like freak us out in the actual episode, and something at the end of the credits, possibly. So,
yeah, because you got to remember, season one had the dark saber coming out, which that was a pretty
right.
cool thing.
That's
Season
like a
two,
tradition now.
yeah, and then season two had, of course, the introduction of Book of Boba Fett, which is where we are. What's gonna be the big reveal? Like, what's gonna be the thing that's gonna freak us all out and want us wanting more? Introduction to season three of Mando, introduction to Ahsoka's series, or maybe that's where we're gonna see Ben Solo in the post credit scene. Just to as like a teaser of the Force Awakens. You know what I mean? Like that'd be pretty cool to do. But yeah, so don't turn it off as soon as it's over. Fast forward it to the end, and you'll be able to probably see it. And we talked about it the other day, which is it's crazy knowing the whole episode is right there, and you can just fast forward it to look and see what's happening. But we're all very disciplined people that we actually watch the whole episode. Um, the Dark Saber coming out season one got me into Clone Wars, and then my life changed forever. Yeah, it's really looking back at season one of Mandalorian, it was very well contained. It was a really good show about this guy, this creature, the child, and him trying to figure out what he's gonna do with this child. He has no idea what's happening, and then he finally figures out, okay, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. But when the dark saber came out, that opened Mandalorian to everything. Because then after that, then all the Clone Wars era story started to really come into play in season two of The Mandalorian. So that dark saber really changed everything for us now. Without that, Ahsoka probably wouldn't be, Ahsoka would have been awkwardly put in there. Bo-Katan, that whole thing, I don't know. It's really crazy what that dark saber did for Mando and now the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
Favloni verse.
yep. And I really think that these last two episodes have been really nice tie-ins and amazing fan service. Yeah, and I don't know how Favreau and Filoni are able to balance. And there's always that balance of do you do too much fan service or do you just do it just enough to where you're telling your story as well as giving fan service? And I think they're killing it. It's some weird voodoo magic that they both have that they're able to do that with it, and I'm all for it. You know,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah. I mean, Filoni has studied under George Lucas, and he's learned under him for like years and years. He knows exactly how to tell a Star Wars story, and he's interweaved all of his characters that he's worked with through Clone Wars and Rebels, and we're just at the starting point right now. We're gonna get Ezra, we're gonna get Sabine. I mean, and
Yeah,
we're gonna get Anakin Skywalker. Hayden Christensen's coming back for the Ahsoka series. I mean, that's gonna be mind-boggling. And I think one of the interesting topics is Dave Filoni gonna let anyone else other than him direct episodes of the Ahsoka series? Because it seems like he's not letting anyone do anything with Ahsoka without his approval.
yeah.
So I
Which
would really want him to just be on top of that. But on the flip side, he's one of the creative directors of Lucasfilm now. So he has his hands in every single cookie jar over there. So, I mean, is
I
he going to be able to do it?
I think he's gonna go the route of hiring directors that he trusts to do this episode. 'Cause he's gonna write all the episodes. Him and Favreau are probably gonna write every single episode of the Ahsoka series. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna trust these directors they're gonna bring in, and he's gonna direct a few, but I don't think he's gonna direct all of them. Because if he does, he's not gonna sleep at all for the next couple of years. Um, so unrelated to Boba Fett is Andor is now being greenlit for season 2, which is cool because Mandalorian, that happened the same thing. Mandalorian had not even been out, and then Bob Iger had already said, yeah, season 2 is coming soon. So Andor is apparently good that they're gonna give it a second season. As a kid, I would watch Phantom Menace on VHS every day. I'd have everything set. Yeah, it's I remember buying that VHS tape from the Phantom Menace. I was so cool. That box was really I think I still have it at my parents' house.
I still have
Uh,
sealed VHSs of the Phantom Menace lying
no
around.
way.
Yeah,
I have
somewhere around here.
I have the first book that I bought from like it was a book fair and they had
Yeah.
Star Wars there. They had the Phantom Menace, young novel for young adults, young kids. And I have it and I took it out of the box. And what I had done is I took all the pictures out of the book and I hung all the pictures above my bed so I could look at them at night before I went to bed. I know this is me. Okay. This is how I am. And when we went to Celebration, someone was selling that book still in the wrapper, and I bought it. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I
Nice.
was so
Nice.
happy. I was like, "Yes!" I was like, "Is this how much is this? Like $50?" He goes, "It's $5." I was like, "It's $5." All right, well, here, take it. Um, I was gonna drop a lot of money on that book, but yeah, and I say it all the time. And I'm a broken record. I think I'm gonna say it every single podcast we ever do. It is an amazing time to be a Star Wars fan right now. Like what we're getting is crazy. The poster that they released today from Disney, I posted it on Facebook and I told everybody I was like, this poster is literally a dream come true. Like the people, the images that are on that, it's like I never would have thought that was ever gonna happen in Star Wars. Like I never thought I would see a poster with Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, and then now with Din Djarin and Grogu, Fennec Shan, and it's like, and of course Danny Trejo. Like, come on, Danny Trejo is on a Star Wars poster now. That's crazy, but it's just bizarre to be a Star Wars fan right now and to see people getting getting into it, and it's really cool to have. I hear people at work who are like, I finally started watching. I finished all of Mandalorian. I'm in Book of Boba Fett. It's so cool, and I'm like, right? Isn't it great? It's pretty cool to have those conversations with people.
Yeah,
And
it's funny because when I went to Comic Palooza in Houston last summer, they had Ming Na Wen on one side of a curtain, and
nice.
directly in back of her was Danny Trejo. So it was Danny Trejo, Ming Na Wen, Katie Sackhoff, and then they had Giancarlo Esposito, and they also had Carl Weathers. So I mean, I wonder what was going through Danny Trejo's head. I mean, he had already shot all of his stuff for Book of Boba Fett, so he could have technically been in the Star Wars pictures too, and it would have been it would have been
Yeah, it would have
okay.
worked.
But nobody knew at the time, you know. But I mean, you figure Robert Rodriguez is doing Book of Boba Fett, he's gonna bring in
Yes.
Danny Trejo somehow.
Yeah, Machete, man, he has to bring him in. And
Have you eaten any of his like street tacos? He has like a taco truck or a taco place, right?
he has one in LA, and
Yeah.
I saw it. I think I'm gonna go one of these days when I make the journey. Not this weekend. The Super Bowl's gonna be there this weekend, but one of these days I'll make my way up to LA, go to his taco truck, and eat some of his tacos. But but yeah, Dan, I thought we were also gonna get Antonio Banderas somewhere sprinkled throughout uh the book of Boba Fett, which we did not. Which I was a little disappointed. That was part of my personal bingo for Book of Boba Fett was
Your
Antonio
personal bingo, yeah.
Banderas.
Well, I mean, we
Yeah,
still have one chapter to go. And
yeah. I mean,
see,
I'm gonna lose my mind if Antonio Banderas shows up somewhere. I'll be like, yes, he's
and
in.
I'm fairly shocked we didn't get the Empire Strikes Back like rogue gallery of
Yeah, we
bounty
haven't.
hunters. I mean, if it happens tonight, it's like at the very last episode for Bosk and Forlom and Zuckus and
Don't worry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna laugh my head off though if as soon as the ship lands, the ship's gonna land at the very beginning, and the ramp's gonna lower, then you're gonna see all the bounty hunters come out.
so yeah, this has been a
Oh,
topic of conversation. What percentage do you give this Grogu being a child of Yoda and Yaddle?
I give it a 0.000
Oh my gosh, not
chance.
even a chance.
Not even a chance. Well, because only because I don't know. I don't know. There's no
A weird
argument.
dynamic, right? I mean,
It's a
Yoda
very
having
weird
like a
dynamic.
child and not
Yeah,
telling anyone.
and being like, and then okay, if that's the case, then it's just everyone's connected. Palpatine and Ray are connected. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody is someone's parent, and everyone is someone's uh
But then again,
relative.
it would give the Empire more credence to actually try and get the blood of Grogu because he would have that super powerful Jedi lineage from Yoda. I mean, if you think about
True.
it that way.
Okay, that is a good point. But another part of me thinks that this species is very force sensitive. It's a known force sensitive species in the galaxy. And who knows, maybe Grogu's the last of his kind. I mean, we don't know.
See,
Which
I've
is
been
why
imagining a world full of his species. I think we're going to see that on screen one day. That's what
who,
I'm thinking.
who knows,
Especially when
maybe
those spy reports came out when they were like, "Yeah, we made a lot of Yoda species puppets, and we had no idea like they had that Grogu was going to be the child for
yeah.
the Mandalorian." I was like, "Wow, we're going to maybe see that planet." And I
Yeah,
love the fact they kept them a puppet too. That's awesome.
and I always laugh at the fact that it is a puppet, and that
Yeah,
goes back to Empire Strikes Back with Frank Oz being Yoda, and nobody had a problem. Nobody
yeah.
had a problem with this puppet. No one thinks of him as a puppet. Everybody thinks of him as Yoda, and that was just such a crazy thing to do. And then now we have Grogu, who's also, oh boy, here we go. There it is. That's the big one. Midi chlorians. And I love in season 2 of Mando when they said the MC count. I was like, oh my God.
I think they said M count, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Trying to
right.
remember back to
His
it.
M
Yeah.
count is off the charts, and I was like, you guys suck. They're doing everything they can not to say midi chlorians.
the,
But
the M word.
the M word. But I don't think Grogu is because and I like. Oh, hey, that was right. He was like, not even Master Yoda has that. What if Qui-Gon was like, but Grogu does? um, but I will say this though, this is kind of funny. Don't get mad at me, but it's like if Grogu is literally just himself, that's the plot that I wish they would have given. Don't controversial. That's plot I wish they would have given Rey in the last trilogy, which is she is just this person who is force sensitive who ends up becoming the hero of the story. I think that was cool. I think that would have been great, but ultimately that didn't happen. But I think I want Grogu to be that now. I want Grogu to just be he is himself, and he's not connected to anybody. He's just a force sensitive little creature. What's your opinion on that, David?
I don't think he's connected to Yoda or Yaddle. I think he's a brand new character that was maybe like kind of like a foundling for the Jedi Order,
Yeah.
and they just kind of um, recognized that he had potential. And I mean, we kind of I think they're gonna do it in like small little waves and see flashbacks of his 50 years. And a lot of the popular theory right now is that Mace Windu rescued him, or
Oh,
he
jeez.
was inside of R2, and
Yeah,
that's how
that's the
he
one.
was. That would be
Yes.
interesting. And people have brought up the fact that in Revenge of the Sith, R2 has a conversation with 3PO, and you don't know what that conversation is, and then 3PO reacts and he turns to the camera, and they're thinking that was the point where R2 mentioned Grogu.
Yes.
So
And
that's
then
a
plus
possibility.
in season 2 of Mandalorian, Grogu ran. He didn't run up to Luke. He ran to R2. Like he was happy to see R2. And that's another thing
Right.
people need to realize is that he saw R2 and it was like, "You're here," and R2 was like, "You're here." So that theory, I really like that theory that R2 is the one who took Grogu and hid Grogu inside of. So who knows? Maybe while we're watching the freaking birth of Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, he's Grogu's there the whole time. I mean, we
Oh
don't
my
know that.
gosh.
Or they're gonna do this crazy thing where while the battle of Kenobi and everyone else, Kenobi and Anakin, what if somebody came and picked Grogu up from Mustafar and took him away during that fight? I mean, they could. There's enough time for that to happen. Um, what do we say? I mean, my wild theory is that Grogu heals either Boba or did after this.
So
Yeah,
yeah, what do you make of Grogu's choice here coming up? Either the Jedi way or going back to
it
his
it it
Mando daddy.
it just seems like such a, I don't want to say cop out, but
It seems a little anticlimactic because I mean,
it
of course he's going to go with the Mandalorian. I mean, they're
yeah,
going to continue the show.
and then it's like, what was the point of him being? We got Luke Skywalker. That was cool. You know what I mean? Like, what other point would that serve to have Luke Skywalker show up if Grogu's never gonna stay with you know what I mean? It just, and so quickly. Like this plot line, of course, controversial. It could have been in season 3 of Mandalorian, but we're getting it here, and it seems like the powers that be are like, hey, you need Grogu in the book of Boba Fett. We need Grogu getting ready to be in season 3 of Mandalorian. So you need to start working on a way to get him in there. That's what it kind of feels like. And yeah, exactly. Yeah. Grogu's making Disney so much money. You would not believe how many Grogu shirts I see in the park every
Can,
day.
can you spot all the Grogu's behind me? There's like
Yeah,
one
I have
and
one.
two.
I have one right there in camera. My wife said
Pretty
one.
cool.
My wife says
How many Grogu
one
shirts do you have?
while she's laying on a giant plush Grogu
Oh wow.
pillow right now.
Have you seen the ones at Target? It's like 3 feet tall. He's holding like a giant frog, and there's
No, we
one where
haven't
he's
seen.
holding. Yeah, I haven't been to Target in like months.
We have the one where it's about this big. He doesn't have a frog, but he's just a big plush Grogu, and it's freaking adorable. And it's soft, and that's why we have it. But yeah, Grogu's making a lot of money right now for Disney, so it's like that's it just seems so disappointing that that's what they're gonna do. That they're gonna just, they took him away in season 2, and then by the end of this season, they're gonna be like, and he's back with Din. It's like, all right, what did he learn? Did anything happen? Was there a point? I don't know.
Yeah,
Grogu earrings.
it's
So
a nice gift.
did is that for you or for her? Was that more for you or
Is
was
your
that more for her?
fiance a fan of
Yeah,
Star Wars?
I uh I bought my
Fiance must
wife.
be right.
I bought my wife a for me. I know. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, whatchamacallit? I bought
Oh,
myself a
Kanye
Grogu
says
shirt.
can't wait for it.
Oh, oh man, is this really Kanye? Is Kanye really listening to that? Would be the weirdest thing to ever happen if Kanye was listening to our podcast right now. I don't think
It
that's
would
him.
make sense. He's spoken about Star Wars before on a podcast.
Kanye, is this you?
Yeah, he pointed out that he's like, who created Star Wars? He goes, George Lucas. Who's the main character of Star Wars? He goes, Luke Skywalker. That Luke is the creator.
Nah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, okay. I'm sorry we didn't acknowledge you earlier, Mr. Kanye. That I guess he's not listening anymore to
The
us
official
talk.
Kanye West YouTube channel. That's cool.
But whatchamacallit, but no, I bought a Grogu shirt, and then I was like, this is for my wife, and then I also wear it as well because it's Grogu. I mean, he's the cutest looking thing in the entire galaxy right now, and I hope he's in the episode, but I'm also thinking he will not be in the episode. So I am here.
Yep.
Hello, are you? I'm not gonna acknowledge this. I'm just gonna say thank you for listening. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
Thank you very much. Are you looking forward? You're looking forward to tonight's episode? I know we are. That's all we've been talking for the last 30 minutes and how crazy psyched we are about this whole
Yeah,
thing.
what's your prediction of who is showing up in this
Yeah, what's
episode?
what's the big reveal gonna be? Let's
I
see
mean,
what the
it was kind of predicted a long time ago that Bosk was going to show up, and I mean, if he doesn't show up tonight, it's like,
that
man,
was
did
just a
they just cut
wasted.
him out, or
Yeah, or maybe he just never. I don't know. It's just a rumor. Maybe it's just wishful thinking on fans' parts that he would be because the plot that we all had in mind for the Book of Boba Fett has not played out exactly how we all thought it would be. So I guess again with us Star Wars fans, we have all these crazy predictions, and when it doesn't happen, we're always like, "Oh man, they ruined it." But then it's like, it's okay. I've been waiting like 3 years for Boba content. And then do you remember when Solo came out? Like Boba Fett, the movie was supposed to. The Hollywood Reporter said James Mangold was going to direct a Boba Fett movie. Like the days Solo came out, that report came out from Hollywood Reporter,
yep, yep,
and
yep.
we were all excited. And then boom, it was over. I think Boss has to show up at some point since he plays a huge part in his life. Exactly, and I don't know. It just and he's a fan favorite. Everybody likes him. Everyone. I mean, they don't like him. You know what I mean? He's a horrible
Yeah,
person. But everyone likes the character. It's a cool looking character. They have the whole plot line in Clone Wars about it, and so I think if they don't do it, that's a missed opportunity on Lucasfilm and Disney Plus. But then again, I mean, who knows? I mean,
yeah.
he
They've
might
had a
show up.
ton of his species Trandoshans on the show already, and
Yeah.
then you have the whole dynamic between Chrysanthemum and the
Yeah. See.
Trandoshans. I mean, he's already ripped an arm off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that ending of the episode, he just ripped that dude's arms off. I want to see Chrysanthemum like full on gladiator mode in this episode. I want to see people scared and terrified of him in this episode. Like that's what I want to see. And it's a little.
I think we're gonna get a scene where he's gonna run through a gauntlet of either pikes or bounty hunters and just start ripping arms off.
I gotta see that. I gotta see that. And the big rumor is, Han Solo and Chewbacca could possibly be in there.
Yep,
So that'd be pretty
yep.
cool to
They
see
battled
Chewie.
in the comic, yeah.
Yep. So that's pretty great. And
But you would figure they'd be on the same side technically.
yeah,
Do you
I
think
don't think they're
Chrysanthemum
gonna
is gonna
fight.
go like rogue or something?
No, I think they're gonna all be on the same side, but I think Chewie and Chrysanthemum are gonna kind of look at each other and be like, "We're cool right now. We have a common enemy that we have to fight. So let's just keep it that way."
So does Boba Fett actually know that it was Han Solo that hit him in
That
the back of the jetpack and caused him to go? I mean, does he know that? I
I
mean,
it as weird as it sounds, it's so comical. I don't even think about that moment. Like it's such a
well, I mean, because I mean, Han Solo might very well appear tonight and fight on his side. And once he lands the Falcon and he pops out, it's like, how is Boba Fett gonna greet him? You know?
true. What is
And if Luke shows up in the fight and he's waving around the saber, of course he's gonna know. I mean, he's gonna remember him from from Return of the Jedi in that
And he was gonna
skiff
kill Luke.
battle.
Like he was ready to kill Luke
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his flamethrower, you know? So it's like I don't know. But then again, Boba Fett is a whole different person now. Boba Fett is a completely different person than he was before. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird, but I think he's gonna. What did he say? Boba is definitely gonna ride his Rancor. And I also think Mando will find something in the mines. Oh yeah, I think season 3 of Mandalorian is gonna be a completely different format for them. Like I don't think we're gonna be getting a lot of side missions if you may like we got with Mando. I think Mando's gonna have his goal, which is to go down to the mines of Mandalore. And I think some crazy stuff is gonna happen. I think we're gonna get some. We're gonna get the
Mythosaur
night.
action.
We might get Night Sister action going on there. I think it's gonna get really crazy in season 3. And
Bo-Katan as like a villain.
yeah, I know that's a big one going around as Bo-Katan's gonna be the villain. And who knows, maybe we'll see a flashback of Mandalore. I mean, we did see it getting destroyed, but like if we see Mandalore in all its glory from in a flashback, like live action, and I think that would be pretty cool.
And I don't think
Uh,
you can count out Ahsoka Tano
yeah,
showing up in a lot of those episodes as well, because I mean it's all having to lead up into this big climactic event. And what the event's going to be is going to be a movie. You would figure it'd be a movie so they can make a epic ton of money, you know?
and they would. Could you imagine if they said we're doing a movie? Grogu's gonna be in there, Din Djarin's gonna be there, Ahsoka, like, that would make so much money. Yeah, the Mythosaur too, yeah, major hits out of Mythosaur. Yeah, that would be pretty cool to see that in season 3 of Mandalorian. What if Cal shows up? I mean, at this point,
I think he is. I think they've dropped so many hints from video games, the BD1 droid. I mean, there was another Easter egg in there. Oh, the stem packs
that's right,
when
yeah.
Cobb Vanth got shot. So
I think we may see if not see him, they're gonna mention it. Like, I think Cal Kestis is has become a huge fan favorite, and he's a video game character,
and
mind
there's
you.
a reason you cast what's his name?
Cameron
Yeah,
Monaghan,
Cameron
right?
Monaghan. I mean, he's a bona fide actor. I mean, there's a reason why you cast him in the video game so you can use him later on down the line.
And
It'd be a
he's
big waste if they didn't.
he's a huge fan. Like, if you ever saw
Yeah, yeah.
his panel, he said every kid has dreamed of being a Star Wars, a Jedi in Star Wars. He goes, "I get to do that." And that I usually don't play video games more than once, but I've played the story of Jedi Fallen Order because it's so good. It's really, really good. We could see oh, that's right. Yeah, we could see Cal and the Night Sister. What was her name? I can't remember her name, but she was really, really cool. Um, Cal is still only 39, so it'd be sick if he were to help train Mando with the dark saber. Yeah, but then also, yeah, Cal could train him, but also Sabine could train him as well. And we already know that Sabine is gonna it's already been cast, or we it's kind of confirmed
Yeah,
that she's
Sabine has been cast.
yeah. So Cal or Sabine could be the one to do that. I lost it when I saw BD1, however, though I do not. I do love the Invo Starfire. I still prefer the Razor Crest more. I mean, yeah, the Razor Crest was more fit for what Mando was is doing with his career, but maybe that career is over now. Like maybe the bounty hunting, his bounty hunting days are kind of done. So maybe his cruiser is all he needs. You know, like I don't know. It's just it could be a temporary ship, or it could be one of those things where Disney is like, we got some more toys to make. You know what I mean? Like, this toy is gonna be pretty big, you know. But okay, what do we got? The last sequence with Vader, bro. Yeah, dude, that was cool. But I will say people spoiled it for me on the internet, so I knew it was coming.
Well, you can
I
go
was
on YouTube and watch all the animatics like connected together.
yes. And of course, just okay, I'm gonna just throw this out there. So those of you who have listened to the podcast know I've already confessed this, but I'm gonna confess it to y'all, especially to Kanye, since I don't think you've ever listened to us before. But I will say that when I did play Jedi Fallen Order, I did put it in story mode, which makes it super easy. It makes everything very simple. So when they hit you, you don't die immediately. I
There's nothing
did
wrong with
that.
that.
I did that only because I wanted to watch the story because it's a great story in Star Wars, and it's canon, and it's like watching a movie that I play. Yes, that's my confession. I played Jedi Fallen Order on story mode just to watch the story. So, how many listeners did we lose on that one? I'm just kidding.
No,
But
pretty
but
steady.
no, the a little honest. Okay. Thank you for not deleting us.
So I
But
actually didn't have time to play it, so I just watched the whole like story on YouTube. It was like
you dog,
6 hours long or something
and it
crazy
was
like that.
great, wasn't it? It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I, I honestly wasn't expecting it to be such a hit, but I mean, they pulled it off, and there's going to be a sequel now, and hopefully,
Yeah.
I love the fact that they cast that actor. I mean, Cameron
Yes.
Monaghan. I mean, he was at 2019
Yeah, he
Chicago
was there.
Celebration with us,
He was there.
and yeah, man, I love it when they have potential tie-ins like that. I think that's the beauty of Star Wars, bring in an actor to be in the video game that potentially can be brought in. I mean, that's when Star Wars is at its best. I mean, you bring in Cobb
Yes.
Vanth from the Aftermath trilogy, you bring in Cad Bane from Clone Wars and Rebels and Bad
Bad
Batch. I
Batch. I
mean,
mean, it's just Cad Bane was huge. That Cad Bane's introduction was huge. Okay, hold on, we're missing. Okay, he still called himself Mandalorian though, even though that's true. He's still
well, I mean, he's
kind of
gonna go prove himself when he goes to Mandalore
so
and
that yeah,
bathes in the
season three.
mines.
Yeah, season three has been set up
Yeah,
with that one.
yeah,
LMAO, I did the same thing. The same with since he was such an annoying boss. No, I did it with all of them. Not even I did it every single boss, and so I feel like I kind of cheated because it's really easy to defeat them. But bro, I always play games. Okay, thank you, Joseph. Um, I got stuck with the rolling ball puzzle. Took me so, dude. Yes, holy crap. Are you talking about the one with the wind and you have to like push it through and then grab it and then do this? Yeah, that one's crazy. Hello, I'm from Brazil. Hello.
what's up from
What's up from
Brazil?
Brazil? What time is it there? I think they're same time as you, right? It's
Central?
yeah, I think it's Central Time. Uh yes, right. Yeah, the ball thing, the wind. Yeah, no, it took me a few to get those. And yes, Cad Bane was huge.
And you said you weren't expecting Cad Bane. I was expecting
I
Cad
was
Bane because it was a
not expecting.
Filoni written and directed, and I was like, yeah, Cad Bane is probably showing up. But I'm kind of shocked that many people didn't think Cad Bane was going to show. I thought he was almost like a stone cold lock to show up. And then especially that long distance view of him walking, I was like, boom, there it is. It's Cad Bane. But a lot of people were like, is that him? And I'm like, it has to be him. Who else could it be?
Well, of course, my mind was going through the whole Rolodex of okay,
Yeah.
who's this? But then when they cut back and I saw the hat, I was like, no way! Like
Yeah, some people were
they
like Embo possibly. I'm like, nah, man, they're gonna
nah,
bring in the big guns.
because at first with the cape and all that, I was like, what if that's Kira? Like in the back of my mind, I was like, that'd be pretty crazy if it was Kira who just walks up, and then that would kind of freak everyone out. But and the waterfall, yes, I know exactly the part you're talking about. I may or may not have looked up. Dude, yes, that was the craziest. That was the longest part of the whole. Like, it was nuts. And then I hated when I looked at the map and it was like said like 98% complete. You're like, what? What did I miss? Like, what did I miss? I thought I looked at this whole thing. Yeah, dude, that game kept me up quite a few nights. Um, I platinum Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Well, you're awesome. You're a better gamer than I am. Um,
Nice.
yeah,
You were
that's
worthy.
awesome. If you need a sweat to carry, sorry, no, okay. I know that Colin and I played Ewok Hunt on Battlefront, and that was a lot of fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm glad none of y'all heard because we were really intense when we played that game, and so that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think you
Uh,
mentioned that you were especially intense
I
playing
was
that.
very intense playing that game. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so we said all that because we think Cal Kestis might show up. That was the whole gaming thing. Um, RIP Max Rebo for a second time. Or maybe not. We didn't really see him there with the
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, we didn't see him in the sanctuary. I mean, yeah, I mean, it could have been his off night. I mean, he could have been practicing some new music. I mean,
Maybe he was recruiting people, like we
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
M-
rebuilding back the
Maybe
band. I
maybe
mean,
they needed a singer, so he was gonna go look for a singer. Um, so who knows? Maybe Ewok Hunt is not. Oh gosh, it's very true. Um, oh, back on topic. Oh, once upon a time, David and I had a movie podcast, and we were doing a podcast about Deadpool, and we went way off topic. And I said, "Okay, back to Deadpool," and everyone started laughing because I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about." And so after that, every time we would podcast, we'd always say, "Okay, back to Deadpool," like back on point. And so yeah,
but I mean,
Max
that's what
Rebo.
a podcast is. I mean, you can go off topic into different tangents. I mean, it's fine.
But Max Rebo is Snoke's alt form. Who knows? You might be onto something there. But no,
Oh
it was
man,
really
don't let
weird that
Colin know about that.
yeah, it was really weird seeing not seeing Max Rebo. And now we're gonna figure out. And now we're gonna have to hear from Colin for another 2 years. His predictions of what happened to Max Rebo.
So, what's the
It's
percentage? Did Garza Fwip die? 100%,
you mean
99%.
she yeah.
But
They
she's
all
a survivor, though.
they all blew up. There's no way they survive. They're gone. It's like what Finn said about Phasma. She's dead. Nope, she's dead. Keep moving on. Nope, she's gone. Nah, they died. And I think they did that just to show you like it's about to stuff is just got real. I think that's what they did that for.
I mean, the look on her face. I mean, she could have just like hit the deck. I don't know.
Nah, I think she got outsmarted.
And apparently, her character's been through battles and just kind
Yeah.
of untold. She has that big scar on her neck that I think we finally see because it was covered up by that medallion in the
Yeah.
first episode. So yeah, I
But
mean,
I
it's
I I think Crimson Dawn and all that's going to play a big part in this last episode.
and see what's interesting. Did you bring up the point that you can hear the Crimson Dawn kind of theme at the end
No,
of
I
one of the
think
shows for a couple of notes?
I think Ray
Okay.
or Colin said that they heard the Crimson Dawn
I mean, you
notes.
can clearly hear it. It's there. I mean, you could do a side by side with Solo and that episode at the very end. I mean, the notes are there, so you would figure they're alluding to something.
But before we go on, we have to wish John Williams a happy birthday
Yeah,
because
definitely.
John Williams'
Maestro.
birthday. Maestro turned 90 years old today. We just want to, if he's listening, I mean, we have Kanye listening, so who
If
knows?
he's
Maybe
running
John
the
Williams is listening.
official Kanye West YouTube channel.
Yeah, if Kanye, if you can get to John Williams and let him know that we said happy birthday, please, that'd be the best. But yeah, Kira is definitely she's in the background of all of this. I think she's in the background, and I think Thrawn is also deep in the background, and Tatooine is just this battleground spot, and because it's away from the Republic, and I think we're getting into something crazy with all of that. You could see what is that? The Scimitar and concept art. What's that?
I'm not quite sure what that is.
Let me look it up. You still see
Enlighten
me?
us. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, Amelia Clark
Oh, it's
is
the that's what the Sith infiltrator.
oh
What
Maul
Darth
ship.
Maul ship? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but is it exactly Maul ship though? Because it didn't look precisely like Maul ship.
it looked. But then again, Doug Chang is doing all these drawings, so
Yeah,
he's yeah. I love it. We said it before. Doug Chang still being a part of it is just awesome. It's just
yeah,
so cool that he's there.
yeah. We did see Orlando Bloom's face on Toro Calican as well.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, what do we got here? My predictions are Boba riding a Rancor, big battle, Crimson Dawn appearance, Grogu choosing Din with Luke appearance, hoping for some saber action. He's reading John, Cad Bane, Boba quick flashback. Last time we met, Melissa. Okay, that's solid. That's a pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty good.
I think that's
I
a
mean,
great
all those have
prediction.
like high probabilities. Yeah, it seems like the Beskar bullets are kind of gaining momentum.
Yeah, which I mean, that's a huge slap in the face for Boba and Din. Like if Cad Bane has those, and I've said it before, Cad Bane's probably the scariest uh character in Star Wars. I mean, that guy, he gets in situations and he always wins, and you're like, I don't know how he escapes, but he does.
What is the probability that Grogu gets shot in the armor?
I think I think we're gonna get that moment, and it's a cliche thing. It's been done in movies. I don't know how many times, but he's gonna get shot, and we're gonna be like, "Oh no!" And then they're gonna open up, and he's gonna have the best scar that stopped the blast. And it's gonna be pretty cool that he got. And I heard people say, "Is he gonna wear it under the robe or on top of the robe?" What's your guys' thought on the theory that May survived? I'm gonna say a big no for that.
I
I've
would
I've
say a
never
big
liked
no
I've
too, but it's gaining momentum for me, man. I mean, you think about it, all these characters that have fallen from great heights have all survived. I mean, look at Maul. I mean, he was chopped in half and he survived. And you look at Palpatine, he somehow came back.
he somehow returned.
And then you have Samuel L. Jackson pining to come back to Star Wars. I mean, we were there at Celebration in 2017 where he was like, Kathy, I know you're listening.
Yeah, that was
Mace
funny when
Windu is ready to come back.
and yeah, apparently he carries his lightsaber around with him. Like he loves holding that lightsaber. Apparently Brie Larson said he brought it on the set with him for Captain Marvel, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
And of
But yeah,
course, he
so
has the John Favreau Marvel connection right there. He is in the family.
I've been saying Mace was alive for like 3 years. So you've been wanting Boba Fett stuff for 3 years, and you've been saying that Mace is alive for 3 years. That's pretty good. I I don't know. Watching Mace fly out, watching him get electrocuted, and all that was like, for me, that was so finite that he's dead. But then again, like you said, Darth Maul was chopped in half, and he came back.
So they have to
So
come up with like a great explanation of why he never showed up and helped with anything.
yeah, like why didn't you help out at all during the Galactic Rebellion? Like why didn't you? Um, Ahsoka in episode 2. Go ahead. Oh yeah, Tamara Morrison said the Mace thing would be pretty cool. Spotted Ahsoka in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when hopping in a ship on Geonosis scene. LOL. I don't know about that. I know that people thought that she was a youngling there with Yoda during the training sequence. Yeah, give us a timestamp. I'll check it out. But I know during the training sequence in episode 2, a lot of people think Ahsoka is in there. Um, but yeah, I mean, if Mace comes back, I'm 100% wrong, and it's gonna be cool. But I just feel like that's so much of an explanation they have to have. Like, there's so much of like, why wasn't he there? Why didn't he do this? I mean, as it is, we're still wondering why Ahsoka is not doing anything at all during anything. Like why is Ahsoka just showing up now at the end of the whole galactic, rebellion? Um, it's just, I don't know. If Maul comes back, that's a lot of explaining they have to do.
Yeah, but Maul's definitely dead now.
But I mean,
Uh,
Mace. If Mace is back, I'm
yeah,
sorry, Mace.
yeah,
I read Maul there, but yeah, if Mace is back. That's just so much explaining they have to do. It would just drive me crazy.
that would be wild. That would kind of break the internet a little bit if Samuel L. Jackson rolls across the
But
screen tonight.
that's such a fan
Yeah,
service.
that reeks of fan service.
He could have been hiding it or healing. Yeah, true. He could have been like just chilling. Uh, like what Boba Fett was doing. Boba Fett was just chilling this whole time. All right, I'm gonna look
There's your
this up.
timestamp.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
So
Thank
yeah,
God.
there was another bit of controversy with Luke having Yoda's lightsaber, and a lot of people were like,
Yes.
"Wait a minute!" In Darth Vader #1, the comic book, you can clearly see Mas Amedda destroying Yoda's lightsaber, but people are saying that if you look at certain spots in Revenge of the Sith, once he finishes the battle with Palpatine, you can see his lightsaber still clasped on his belt, and I'm not sure if that is 100% valid. That might be some other device and it just looks like a saber. But I'm thinking that yes, Palpatine did destroy Yoda's lightsaber, and Yoda just made a brand new lightsaber that looked like the lightsaber he used against Palpatine. So,
What's her name?
Shakti.
Shock. Yeah, that's Shock T.
Yeah.
She dies 3 times in Revenge of the Sith. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the fact
Yeah,
that
we're
they're
not fact she died
no,
a
no.
ton
So
of
we're not
times.
laughing at you. So in Revenge of the Sith, her character, which does look just like Ahsoka from the back, like it does look just like her. So you were 100% correct that
Yeah.
it's, but they shot her die like 3 times, and they're all there. If you ever want
There's
to
a
watch them,
deleted scene.
yeah, it's so funny. George Lucas could not figure out a way to kill her, and then he just ended up not even showing that in the whole thing. But no, that's Shock T. If you ever want to look those clips up, they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And she's a Togruta. That's the name of the race. And
which is what
something
Ahsoka.
I learned, they have 4 stomachs.
What?
Yeah.
I'm okay with just one. But so I just noticed something. Her makeup is amazing. You know
Yeah.
the and then now they're saying they can't make them long for Rosario Dawson because it's not um quick for her to move around. So it's like,
Right.
so I guess for
They
her, that
modified it a bit.
actress, Shakti, they just said, okay, just stand absolutely as still as possible. Don't move around too much. If not, your headpiece is gonna fall off.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Book of Boba
Back
Fett.
to chapter 7, the
back to chapters.
finale.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right at the beginning just so I can see how long it is, and I catch myself doing that throughout the episode, like how much stuff we're talking about.
Well, you can actually see in the menus. It'll tell you
Oh, that's
the
right, yeah.
runtime, and then it'll give you like a bogus description at the bottom.
Do you remember, like, I forget what episode, a chapter of Mandalorian? It was like 27 minutes, and it was like, what are y'all doing? It wasn't that short, but it felt like it was like 27 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean this last chapter 6. I mean, it flew by, and it was not short. So
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
yeah, man, we're here to help everyone out, and we
Yeah.
don't know everything, but I mean, we do know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we
But
don't.
yeah.
We don't. I think I know too much about it. But then again, there are things that Colin will say, that David will say, and I'm just like, I
Yeah,
have
and there's other
no
members of
idea.
the podcast that kind of specialize in different things.
Like
So
Colin and Brooke know almost everything about Clone Wars. I mean, they know. They know.
I think
so
Colin
much.
watches like a Clone Wars episode a day.
Yeah, he is heavy into Clone Wars, and Ray is huge on prequel stuff, especially with Padme and all. Like, she knows all of that stuff. And if you ever get her talking on
Matt
that,
as well. He's a big Clone Wars guy too.
yeah, if you ever get Ray going on Padme and the hand, she just goes, and it's really cool. And so that's what I like about our little group here that we have. We each of us has, and I'm more of the behind the scenes guy. Like, that's my. I love the directors, the production, and all the stories and why things in the movie happened the way they did because of the production. Yeah, that stuff fascinates me. And
Yeah, same here, man.
Kind of a sad thing. Douglas Trumbull. He was the pioneer of the what's the word? Motion control camera. He did it for 2001: A Space Odyssey, and then Dykstra ended up tweaking it for Star Wars. He passed away yesterday. Trumbull did, and he figured out that this little fun fact for y'all. Back in the day, whenever you would do stars, you would just do, layer upon layer upon layer. Then what would happen is the camera would shift after somebody passes, and that's why the stars in the old 50s and 60s movies looked really, really bad. They always looked really, really like huge and disgusting. And then when you saw 2001: A Space Odyssey, space looked like space, and nobody understood how you did that. And this guy, he created that system to where you program the camera to do a pass, and the camera will continue doing that pass however many times you want. And you just, I forget how big it was, like this, like the disc was like this big. You put it on there, and you would record it, and then the camera would just keep doing that over and over again. And then Dykstra ended up doing that with Star Wars, and that's why so cool thing. And yeah, he did pass away, and his contribution to film and modern day visual effects are going to be for the rest of time. So yeah. So, anyways, chapter 7. I know we keep going off topic here, but it's Star Wars. We can talk about Star Wars. We're having a great time. How many people are watching? Like all like 5?
Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you. Kanye was excited. Kanye, you excited for your new Netflix series? Yes, let us know. I'm not gonna lie, if this really is Kanye, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What
Like
is the
that.
new Netflix series? What's it about? I'm interested now.
I'm interested. I'm very
I
interested.
was listening to some Kanye when I came home from work
It's
tonight.
it's a sign. It's a sign. Yes.
We're just like
That's
patiently waiting.
I'm just patiently waiting. Like, is he gonna say anything?
So Kanye lives pretty close to you, right?
I think a lot of people live really, but yes, no, he does.
Most of Hollywood lives close to me.
Yeah, I can't wait to start my own series as Kanye. Yeah, we're neighbors apparently. I live it's weird to kind of think that, David. We're like I live an
Yeah.
hour away from like movie stars and everything and artists. They're all like right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm not gonna drive up there this weekend. Are you kidding me? But whatchamacallit?
And we'll
Um
all be there for celebration.
yeah, Star Wars Celebration 2022, man.
Yeah, the end of May, watching some Kenobi.
Yeah.
Some
Because
Kenobi
apparently
shows.
we're getting it in May. We're getting it May 4th. So
So yeah, there's a little bit of a conflict there because apparently Moon Knight is gonna premiere, and the last episode
oh,
technically would be May 4th, unless they drop 2 episodes of Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Then it would end before the week of May 4th, and May 4th is a Wednesday, of course, and that would be perfect timing for the Kenobi series. So if that happens, we'd be at Celebration, and we would possibly get a sneak preview, or maybe like an episode or 2 before they actually air for the panel. I mean, that's what I'm kinda hoping for.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta read this house about a house next to my ex-wife's house so I can watch. Great. Well, I don't live next to my yeah, I'm all the way down here, so I don't have to worry about that. But thank you for letting us know that. I really appreciate that. Yo, so Grogu erases movies 7 through 9 by picking up the lightsaber, or he goes with Beskar, and where we just got. Wow, was Filoni and not so big on center off Disney? You
See,
know what?
we kind of addressed that earlier. I mean, they're
Yeah.
leading up to the sequels, actually. They're connecting to, and they've already said it in print media
So yeah,
that
you're right. There is if he does pick the lightsaber up, 7, 8, and 9 are completely done. Which so
right.
I guess
Well,
the
yeah, because
answer is
technically
there is
Kylo Ben Solo is the first
yeah.
student. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we already know the answer. It's just my whole critique of it is that it happened really quick. I wish this would have been halfway through season 3 of Mandalorian. That's my thing. I'm glad we got it, but I think it should have just waited. I wish I had tickets to Celebration. I've never been. Hopefully they drop some more passes before because it's awesome. I hope you can get yourself one. Um,
Yeah. It's the genesis of our podcast. That's
yes, it
that's where I
is.
met Colin, and then I met James back here in South Texas, and he was like, "I was at Celebration. I was standing right next to you."
Yeah, we were standing next to each other. We didn't even realize it. Like that's Celebration. This podcast is here because of
Yeah.
Celebration. New Moon Knight double with Kenobi and Imagine a Kenobi and BB Mad Match season 2 same time. That's a lot though. I don't think Disney Plus would do that, but who
Yeah,
knows?
that's
That'd be pretty cool though.
yeah, that I mean, I don't think they would do that because it would cannibalize Bad Batch. I
Yeah,
mean,
people wouldn't care about Bad Batch that
yeah,
much.
all the talk would be about Kenobi. Bad Batch would just fall into the background. They have to release it at a different point in time.
So a buddy of mine pointed something out to me. She said Finnick Shan was trying to take Omega. Do you think that's why she's helping Boba out because she remembers Omega? So there's a whole thing that maybe
What if
she's
we get
hiding.
Omega in a couple
That
hours
would be
here?
crazy if we got Tamara Morrison dressed as. I'm just kidding, no, but but Omega would be kind of crazy if they
I want to
showed
see
her.
Omega. She's on our bingo card. We had a bingo card, and someone's already claimed bingo. He's actually on here right now.
Oh, nice.
But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I mean that would be interesting. You tie in Bad Batch. I mean that would be an official Bad Batch tie-in, and that would make people like look her up and try and figure out, okay, where's this character from? And yeah, I thought Bad Batch was an awesome series. I think a lot of people kind of maybe missed out on it, and it delved into characters from Rebels and events that, I mean, even with Kanan. I mean, when he was a young Jedi, when he was Caleb Doom.
Yeah. And that was, and of course they retconned something, but we're not gonna talk about we're not gonna talk about that. But I think Bad Batch was pretty great. Season 2 is gonna be even better. It's gonna be really good. And I think bringing Omega into this would be pretty cool. Imagine Django comes back. That'd be pretty cool to see a flashback with Tamir Morrison, of course, playing Django. I think that'd be pretty cool to see that blue armor again.
Yeah, I saw some like kind of predictions that maybe Django's going to have his own series, but I think Tamir Morrison is just too old now at this point. They'd have to
Yeah,
get
what
another actor, or maybe he just stays with the helmet on the whole time and doesn't do anything physical. I mean,
because
it would kind of be hard because I mean, he was way thinner too as well.
yeah, he was what
He
is
was
he,
like super
60?
fit.
He's 60 right now?
Yeah, he's
62?
he was it was early 40s, late
Yeah, he
30s.
was already pretty, yeah, but I would like to see him back in a flashback and to see that blue armor again. That was really cool. And it took me years to realize that he just painted the armor. It wasn't like he got new armor. Like it took me until like 5 years ago to be like, I think he just painted it. I don't think he got a whole new set of armor. But anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to see Django back. But I don't know what time is it. It's 10:40 right now. We still have an hour and 10 minutes
Man,
until the show drops. I don't think we could go. I don't think we could just keep talking that whole
I
time,
think
can
we
we?
can.
You're
Let's
crazy
just do it,
because
James.
you're crazy. You're crazy. I wish Colin would have joined us or somebody would have joined us. I
Well,
mean,
Colin's sleeping right now. He has to wake up super early in the morning to go to work.
so
But
do
he's like,
I.
ugh, why did y'all
But
just
I'm
take the day off?
because man, do you know who we work for? Anyways, I think it's Ahsoka flashbacks with Hayden. Uh, well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna get that definitely in the Ahsoka series. I mean, we're gonna be seeing shots of Hayden Christensen as young, Hayden, and then young Ahsoka. I think that's gonna be just a dream come true to see that in live action. That's gonna be just the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, I think people are gonna flip out. I mean, people flipped out over that just little flashback of Order 66 with Grogu. So I mean, imagine like full blown sequences, and imagine if Ewan McGregor was there too. I mean,
Yeah,
they just have like the whole like trio, and we see a mission from the Clone Wars. I mean, that would be just like making dreams come true right there.
yeah. And I'm gonna say there's a good possibility that happened. I'm just gonna say that maybe he was hiding at R2D2.
Do you think it's possible that Favreau and Filoni are listening to these theories and maybe they kind of have the story planned out, then they retcon that and put Grogu in R2?
Well, I know for a fact that Favreau listens to our podcast. I'm just joking. No, he doesn't. But I know that those theories are going around. And yes, Kanye, you need to play Omega. I think you would do a great job.
That'd be dope.
That'd actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Or just be somewhere in Star Wars. Be anywhere in Star Wars. That'd be pretty cool. Be a first order trooper or a stormtrooper. Apparently, there's stormtroopers in the Kenobi series. I don't know how that plot line is going to play out, but there are stormtroopers in the Kenobi series, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, apparently there's gonna be clone troopers, and we're gonna see Tamira Morrison as unhelmeted clone troopers.
Can you
Apparently,
imagine that gig he got back in 2002 and like, cool, thanks. And then all these years later, almost 20 years later, to be like, hey,
well,
you want to come back? And he's like, yeah. That's what I love about
see,
Star Wars.
I think that's why actors take the gigs in Star Wars. That's why they want the gigs, so it can like live on, and there's opportunities for them to come back and to do the convention circuit and make money off of that. I mean, It's very. I think it's pretty lucrative apparently. So I mean, Felicity Jones came back to she came to Celebration and sign autographs and take pictures. Same thing with Forrest Whitaker. You don't think he's hurting for money? And I
Yeah,
mean, he came
true.
back. I mean, I'm guessing that was like a huge payday for him.
But I mean, look at Ian McDermott. I mean, he did this role, and then what was it? 13 years later, he comes back and does all the prequels, and then 15 years later, he comes back and he plays the same part again. Like that was just that was crazy casting. That was perfect casting on them to get Ian McDermott to play the Emperor. And I agree though that it's pretty cool that an actor could star in a Star Wars movie and then years later they can come back as another character. I mean, who knows? Maybe Samuel L. Jackson is going to do that tonight. I mean, we don't, we don't.
Yeah, and Ian McDermott is a cool dude off screen and at Celebration. I mean, he really kind of embraces being in Star Wars, and he's great with the fans, and he's just a cool dude, man. I mean, there's just certain people in life that it's like they get it, you know.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, he's in
he's
Star Wars. He'll always be known as the Emperor. There's nothing he'll ever do that's gonna top that.
so
So
what
it's
was it? They were like his agent called him and said, so there's a they're offering you a part in Star Wars, and the what does he say? He said they're offering you a part in Star Wars. The title of the character is Emperor of the Universe, and he was like, "I will do that part."
are
Like I
you
will.
interested?
He's like, "Yes, I am very interested." There's pictures of him with red hair, and I was like, "He had red hair? Like that's crazy," you know. But anyways, no joke. My song is in the credits of episode 7.
Which song
E-
is it?
Episode 7, The Force Awakens, or chapter 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. I want to know. Bring on Ahmed Best somehow, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He needs to be back. He had that show on Disney, YouTube, Disney Kids
Yeah.
on YouTube. I watched a few of them. They were pretty cute, pretty fun. It's just, but the problem with that one, it was just the same. They had the same jobs each and every time, which I was like, oh come on, do
Yeah.
something different each time. Um, I would like to see him back in some capacity. He's great, and he did a few panels at Celebration, and he was really funny, and to the point where he was working the crowd pretty well that I thought he could host Celebration if he wanted to. He was pretty good. I mean, Warwick Davis is amazing, but Ahmed Best also did a really great job with the crowd. Uh, Bow to, and it's Book of Boba. Is this true, David?
I don't know.
We gotta look it up right now.
I wasn't aware. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of different tie-ins of different people um, in the series. I mean, there was one of the John Wick directors actually directed an episode. That was kind of interesting, and I think
Yeah,
that was one of the really big questions going into the Book of Boba Fett of who is going to be directing these. And of course, Bryce Dallas Howard directed Chapter 5, and everyone wants to give her a Star Wars trilogy now. And that episode was like super incredible. Just the world building and the lore that they had in that episode.
so is it really Pedro Pascal as Mando, or is he has he not even been in this entire show?
I don't think he's been in the suit physically this entire show. I think he's emailing his voice into Lucasfilm, and they're just using it.
Okay,
So
because they posted some behind the scenes stuff of Chapter 6,
yeah,
and it
and it was
was
Brendan Wayne on the
yeah,
spaceship with
it was
the little
not
Rhodian.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like man, that kind of. I mean, then again, David Prowse wasn't always in the suit for Darth Vader. So I mean, it's just one of those things that could happen.
Yeah, Bob Anderson,
This would be
famous swordsman.
Jesus. That's it, man. That's the secret. It's been Kanye the whole time in the suit. But but no, it is kind of a bummer though that Pedro Pascal is so busy now that he can't be there physically. But the good news is he just uses voice. He just uses his voice, and people are like, "Oh, that's him. That's
Yeah,
there he is."
yeah, it totally works like that. So, man, what do you? I mean, what? How do you think Chapter 7 is going to open up? I mean, what are we gonna get on screen? What do you think?
I think
I'll tell you this first of all before you tell me. I feel like it's gonna be like a total curveball. I think we're gonna get something totally unexpected. What do you think could be something that's super unexpected, but still kind of ties into what we've seen?
well, I mean, we're throwing so many crazy predictions out that one of them has to stick. Like one of these things has to work. But I like the idea of a ship landing and then a lot of the baddies come out. A lot of the big heavy bad guys start to come out just to show you what Boba's going to be up against.
Yeah,
And
what if it's the end of Solo that we never saw? It's Kira going to see Maul when Maul
oh,
summons her.
that would be crazy if it literally shows that ship coming in and landing, and then the ramp lowers and Kira walks out, and you're like, "Oh crap, they're doing it. They're putting it all together. They're bringing it all in." You see Maul, and then he sets it up, and he says, "Our first, or the main goal." And he points, or like to the screen or whatever, and it's Tatooine. He goes, "That's what we need to. That's where we need to be." And then there we go. That would be the best, coolest opening. If it doesn't happen, David, I would be really disappointed. So you're gonna play every part then, Kanye. Like you're gonna do every single part. The good news is though you don't have to like, you can hide your face with the mask. So I think you could technically do that. So
I'm starting to believe this is Kanye because that sounds like something Kanye would say.
but damn, that's a good one. Yeah, I agree with Torres over here. That is a great idea there, David. That if it starts off with Kira coming in, and then we get it's a flashback, and then we go forward after that. Yeah, so now if that doesn't happen, I'll be really disappointed. Like severely disappointed if that doesn't happen.
I think they're gonna tie in Maul into future stuff. It's just, of course, we all know that he died in that Twin Sons episode um, in
Yeah, so
Rebels. But I mean, flashbacks, man. Flashbacks give you that opportunity, the opportunity to see Hayden as Anakin again, to see
yeah,
Clone Wars stuff in live action. I
just put
mean,
someone in a back to take. You're good. Just
put Django's head in the back to.
yeah. Then you could just go from there. Yeah, that cracked me up though. When somebody was
Okay,
like,
so this is interesting. Do you think they would ever go the route of cloning like a dark, evil Luke, like what they did in the books after Return of the Jedi when we had no
because
films?
that was a part of some George Lucas stuff also that he was doing, writing that plot. The hand ended up becoming the catalyst for cloning a Luke Skywalker. Um, I hope not. I really do not want to see that. And I don't think there's enough time in the timeline right now where we are for that to happen, which was why it was a blessing and a curse having Luke Skywalker involved in all of this, is because once Luke showed up, the timeline was set. It was like, okay, we only have this much time before we get to the Force Awakens. Whereas before that, it was just, who could it be? What's going to happen? But now that Luke's involved, the timeline is set for us, and so it's one of those things where they don't really have enough time, I think, to do the whole Luke Skywalker clone plot line. But I don't know. That's my opinion. What did you say? I love Maul. Like, who's y'all's favorite? You mean like the fight between Ahsoka and Darth Maul, or the characters that are those your favorite characters? Maul, of course, is awesome. Episode 1, that was huge. That was huge. Whenever Maul was there. Is Tales of the Jedi animated?
We don't know yet. I mean, I'm hoping it's live action. I'm hoping they actually follow Luke Skywalker now with the deepfake technology that's proven. I
I
mean,
think
you
that's
could
a lot
totally
of
do something.
that's a lot of money to do
Well, I
though.
mean, Shamook did it in his house. I mean, I don't know how much money he spent on it, but I mean, he figured out how to do it at a low cost, I would think. I mean,
Oh, so you're asking us who our favorite characters are?
yeah,
Oof.
Salacious Crumb.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
The Wampa.
the my favorite characters are Leia and Luke, Ray. Um, there's a lot. I like a lot of the characters in Star Wars. Han Solo, Finn,
But who's your
Poe.
absolute favorite? Top three.
That's so hard, man, because I like it all. I'm a big fan. I love every Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Count Dooku. Even though he's a villain, I think Count Dooku's really cool. There's just I can't pinpoint who my favorite character is. There's so many. What about you?
For me, right now, off the top of my head, I would say Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Din Djarin.
Grogu. Grogu's my favorite character.
Maybe when Grogu comes of age and becomes the second Mandalorian Jedi, possibly.
I saw the cartoon and it was Din like pulling out this little thing and putting it on top of Grogu, and then like it cuts to Grogu and he's wearing the Mandalorian helmet,
Yeah.
and then it cuts back to Din. He's like, "Oh my god," he's like, "You're so adorable." But yeah, I can't really pick who my ultimate favorite characters are.
I think when it's all said and done and The Mandalorian has its run of 4, 5, 6 seasons, I think the title of the show will be referring to Grogu and not Din Djarin.
I like that.
I think he's the actual kind of Mandalorian that rules Mandalore in the very end. And I mean, he's Yoda's species. I would
Yeah,
love for them to explore Yoda's species, but it almost feels like they're going to still keep that a secret
yeah,
and
I
not
think
really share and
I
just
think so
have it as
too.
one of those one kind of untouchable aspects of Star Wars, possibly.
Everyone agrees that the armorer is Death Watch, but I think that Paz Vizsla, me, Kanye, doesn't know it yet. I mean, that is a possibility. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of different like ideas of who she is and what
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
like.
she has horns on her helmet. She's a Maldalorian, you know? I
Yeah,
mean,
so there's a lot of weird things with her. So you might be onto something there. One, Annie, Kid, two, Yoda, three, Darth Vader. You got a duplicate on that though.
well, I mean, Anakin before he became Vader.
I'm just messing with it. There's a bad joke by George Carlin where he had a duplicate in his list, but we're not going to talk about George Carlin. I don't know, man. I might be having to get off here pretty soon. Maybe take a little short nap before 11:50 for me because it drops at 11:50 for me. It drops at what 1:50 for you.
Yeah, that's a pro tip there. It's going to probably start a good 10
Yeah,
minutes
and so yeah,
before.
just a heads up, everybody. And if it crashes, it's because we told all five of you that it's going to happen. But
Three.
all three, sorry, all three of you that this is going to happen. But at 10 minutes till it's going to drop. So be sure to get on and yeah, you'll get a jump start on it.
Be
That's what
sure.
I've done that the last 2 weeks. So
And if you want to join us, the podcast, James won't be on, but it'll be me and Colin kind of reacting to the episode so you can watch us.
he's going to do that tonight. Y'all are really going to do that
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah, we did it with the last episode of Mandalorian.
You guys are crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna bounce so I can maybe take a little nap before the episode. Guys, it was awesome, awesome talking to all of you. Kanye, thank you so much for listening. We hope to you can join us one day, maybe give us a shout out on one of your records. That'd be pretty cool. And as for everyone else, thank y'all so much for listening. And Fake Boy 69, thank you for listening to us for the first time.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, Star Wars Stuff Podcast. We're on Twitter, Add Stuff Pod. We're on TikTok. We have a Facebook group. Join the group with tons of memes, info. I
Lots
know
of
news
memes.
dropped today of Rupert Friends casting and who he's going to play, possibly. We also have a Patreon. You can get special episodes of us doing commentary for TV shows and movies, the original trilogy, and a whole lot more.
Sometimes we just get out there to talk. So
Yeah, random shows. You can contact us via Gmail, StarWarsStuffPodcast@gmail.com, and review us. Give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That helps the podcast out a lot.
Yes.
And also now new on Spotify, you can give us a 5-star review on there as well.
Yes,
And of course,
please.
you can watch us on YouTube and our website, Star Stuff, or actually Stuff Podcast Network. You can actually see all of our faces, see a little bit of information on each one of the hosts, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And
And
for
thanks for following
James,
us on Instagram. And yes, thank you guys so much. And David, thanks for letting me ramble on and on and on. But yes, look for David and Collins watching it here in the next hour. They're gonna watch it because y'all are crazy. All right, guys, y'all take care. Enjoy the show tonight. May the force be with you.
always.